Every year, the new Humanitarian publishes its much-shared list of 10 crises that demand your attention now. This list highlights the places in the world where needs are rising, aid budgets are cut or insufficient, and where people feel forgotten by the international community. Over the coming months, our series of first-person stories will feature aid workers and people affected in one of the places on the 10 crisis list. In this episode, we hear from Moussa Kondo, the Executive Director of the Sahel Institute. Moussa recounts how drastically life changed for everyday people in Mali, where years of conflict, climate change, and political isolation have left more than 7 million people in need of humanitarian assistance.
My name is Moussa Kondo. I'm the Executive Director of the Sahel Institute, and I'm based in Bamako, where I live, the capital city of Mali. I work here and cover the Sahel region, including Niger, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Benin. I grew up all around Mali because my father was a civil servant. So every 2 years, he was moving from one place to another. This obviously gave me a sort of contact and the knowledge about the country and the places people live, how they live, and it was an amazing experience growing up all around the country. Life was like really amazing and fun because there is a saying in our culture, say, if you do some good thing to a stranger, someone somewhere will do the same to your relative. It could be your brother, your sister. So this pushes people to do good to strangers, even to be nice to people they even don't know. So we used to live in that lanes throughout the country. So Mali used to be this place with a lot of love, a lot of sharings, and a lot of caring. We start facing these challenges of lack of trust, injustice, and all this, and frustration growing from the late of 90s and the early of the 20s, where we faced the first election experiences when candidates and during the campaigns went down, the countries promised everything but not fulfilled the promises. And also the ones who did not get elected start growing frustration, and especially the northern regions. The northern Mali is like a huge desert space, open space. I would say from Mauritania down to the southern regions of Tunisia till Chad, you have like an open space without a very strong control on the borders. So we start having insecurities mixed with frustrations, mixed with the injustice. So it's that moment we start seeing really insecurities and attacks growing up day after day. There is thousands and thousands of displaced people, and the host communities sometimes are poorer than the displaced community coming in the communities. So sometimes the host communities even move to the displaced camps to access clean water or to access food or whatever help or support organization bring to displaced people in the camps. So people been moving out from places where there are attacks. Some had the villages burned, some had the villages attacked like multiple times, hundreds of people killed. So the only way to escape this is to move out from where they used to live to new places, sometimes bring just the closest they were in. Life in these places I used to live back in the days and now have completely changed. Not just because of the insecurity, but because also of the climate change which has been like a slow disaster. People didn't pay attention, but creating a lot of chaos and pressuring people moving from place to place. And they had to find another or a new ways of life. Life in the capital city has been always challenging before even the crisis started. But now, when the crisis started and the military coup happened in 2013, the economy dropped tremendously. Everything stopped. It affects my daily life because people around me and myself are losing their jobs. I have to work like double or 3 times to get the same revenue like I used to back in the days. And also now, locally, nothing's happening from the embassies, international NGOs. But due to the conflict, 90% of them left the country. So that means there is no founders of local organizations or private companies. We're living now 50 hours without electricity, 30 hours without electricity. So we have never seen this before in Bamako. And when you say electricity cut off, that means there is no small and middle enterprises prospering. What I want people to know and understand about what's happening in the Sahel right now in Mali is a human disaster. People are just starving due to the conflict. People cannot go to farm and everyone left. Like, this is your problem, deal with it by yourself. The simple fact of being isolated from the international community and global conversation, I mean, the future will be very challenging, very tough.
Moussa Kondo is the Executive Director of the Sahel Institute. Visit thenewhumanitarian.org to read the full list of 10 crises that you should pay attention to this year. The New Humanitarian is the only newsroom that specializes in covering humanitarian crises. Subscribe to our feed to stay in the loop on new episodes from different parts of the world. This episode was produced and edited by Marte van der Wolf and Melissa Fundira, with sound engineering by Mark Niato.